So, new Fox News polls show how Americans are feeling about President Trump's immigration policies. Only 29% of Americans believe every illegal immigrant should be deported, while the majority support deporting those charged with crimes. Almost half of Americans say ICE is being too aggressive in deportation efforts. 49% say too aggressive, and then 24% say not aggressive, and about a right 27%. Joining us now is Border Czar Tom Homan. So, Tom, thanks so much for joining the program this morning. We just laid out the numbers right there of our Fox News polling. There's laws on the books that you guys have to enforce. Explain to our audience on how you're tackling these illegals in the country.
Well, look, if there's any change in the polls on ICE enforcement, it's because they're being fed a false narrative by 95% of the media. I looked at the numbers yesterday, Lawrence. Here's where we're at. 70% of the people we're arresting are criminals. Hard stop, 70%. Who are the other 30%? The other 30% are national security threats. Like we've arrested over 300 Iranian nationals. These are people who are national security threats based on intelligence, based on other information. These are people we have to take off the street, that we have to deport. Who's the rest of that 30%? These are people who had due process at great taxpayer expense, and a judge ordered them removed. A federal judge said they must be deported. So our job is to deport those people. So we're executing the laws issued by Congress, enacted by Congress. We're arresting 70% criminals, and the rest are national security threats, and those with final orders. But the left will make you seem like we're all arresting, innocent people, disappearing people, kidnapping people. But the facts are the facts. ICE is prioritizing public safety threats and national security threats, and the numbers prove it.
Well, also, Tom, there's another element about this is when people have warrants for their arrests, when there's criminals on the street and a judge has signed an order, but also if a judge has signed a final deportation order, that's a legal document. You don't get to selectively enforce when a judge has signed an order, right?
Yes, and here's why that's important. Let's say we don't execute those orders. We say, okay, Judge, you said he's already deported, but you know what? Because you're not a significant criminal, we're going to not deport him. That's a message we can't send to the entire world, because that's what the last administration said. We got to show the world that we're a nation of laws. If you break our laws, you're going to be held accountable. There are consequences. And because we're doing that is one of the reasons why we have the most secure border in the history of this nation, because we send a clear message. There are consequences for those who got by the Border Patrol. There are consequences for those who are illegally released by the Biden administration. Let's not forget, 10.5 million illegal aliens came to our border under Biden, and they were released on purpose. And 9 out of 10 of those people, based on immigration court data, 90% of them end up with an order removal. We have to execute them. If not, you might as well just shut down the immigration court, because orders don't mean anything anymore. Take the Border Patrol off the border, because no consequences. If you look at what ICE is doing, we're doing exactly what President Trump promised the American people. We're making this country safe again every day.
So, Tom, Senator Van Hollen is at it again. He once defended the Maryland man who had a criminal record as well, was a part of the cartel. Now he's defending the people in Maryland. And the Homeland Security Secretary made it very clear, look at the records. These are some of the monsters, as she put it, that he's defending. We got a full screen of it where you can see her Twitter post of all of the people with records that he was defending. What is your response to the senator?
He's an embarrassment to the position he holds. The Democrats are upset because we're proving every day what a national security threat, a public safety threat the Biden administration allowed. And he was silent. Him and the other Democratic leaders were silent. Why women and children being sex trafficked at record numbers, a record number of Americans dying from fentanyl, a record number of known suspected terrorists coming across the border. They're embarrassed because we're proving exactly what they did. And President Trump is keeping his promise to American people, and they can't stand it. They want to flip the script. They want to mismessage to the American people. Well, it's not working.
It's truly unacceptable. And Tom, as a former law enforcement, I know you started in New York as well. I know you're praying for the law enforcement officer that passed away because of the actions of a crazy dude here in New York. Thank you so much, Tom.
You got it. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.